Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining me. My name is Alan Holloman, and I am going to talk to you about a very sensitive subject. There's so many things that goes through my mind when you talk about one of the most important problems facing humans in the 21st century. There's so many things going on, and there's so many things that we have to be aware of. But one thing that stood out to me was one of the most important things, or the most important problems, rather, happening in the 21st century to humans, is that our children are falling behind globally in education. Our children are our future, and we all have a responsibility to help them change the current direction right now. Right now, Bill Chappelle, who is a writer and producer, wrote the article U.S. Students Slide in Global Ranking on Math, Reading, and Science. In this article, he talks about how the American 15 and 16-year-olds continue to fall flat in a test that measures students' proficiency in reading, math, and science worldwide. And the United States is not even cracking the top 20 globally. This program is called the Program for International Student Assessment, or the PISA. It collects data from 65 different countries. So 65 different countries are being tested around the 14, 15, and 16-year-old range, and our kids are not even cracking the top 20. There's a problem. There's an issue there. These are the next generation. So how are we not, higher than that? Is a question to ask, and everybody might have their own opinions on how to assure that this goes to a place where we can fix it. But there are studies out here. I have nieces and nephews, that I try and make sure they do the best they can, in school. It's important to me for them to have the responsibility of a student, to gain responsibility as an adult. Education Secretary Arne Duncan called the PISA findings a picture of educational stagnation. He also said to the Associated Press that America needs to invest in early education, raise academic standards, make college affordable, and do more to recruit and retain top-notch educators. Some of his points are so important. I mean, college is astronomically expensive nowadays, and you have to pretty much bring your A game, in order to get some type of scholarship, in order to, to help pay for your finances by going to college. And these kids nowadays, they don't understand that, that what they do now will affect them later. And I try, and tell my niece and nephews that all the time, and even their friends, what you're doing now will affect you later. So, try to do the best you can, so you can get those scholarships, so you can be able to go to a great college and get a good education. Betsy DeVos is our newest Secretary of Education. And she was just appointed by Donald Trump, and then she was nominated by Donald Trump and appointed by Congress by a very slim margin, granted. To me, the things that they say about her is she never went to public school, never taught at a public school. Her kids never went to a public school. And the question is, how can she help those who are less fortunate, those who can't afford a private school, or somewhere to go that will strengthen their education. What can she do for that? If she's never taken a part of that type of education. According to Greg Topo, who is a writer and a publisher at USA Today, she does not support character. She does support character school or charter schools. I'm sorry, private school vouchers and other school choice proposals. And so, and the article goes on to talk about her big a stance on private schools and how it can help the inner city kids, and yeah, we can discuss that, but let's be real. Public schools have always been there. They were there when I was younger. I got through it. I'm in college now. And it was hard, but at the same time, good teachers and investing in our community and our education are a must nowadays. I do like the idea that she said about tearing down the mindset that assigns students to a school based on the zip code. When I was a kid, I couldn't even go to the school down the street from me for some odd reason. I had to be bused all the way across town, and King Science Center, which was a magnet school at the time, and I still think it's a magnet school. But I couldn't even go there. I live right down the street, and I had to be bused. So, hey, we need to talk about that too. C.M. Rubin wrote the article, High Performing Education Systems, How Can America Compete? This article talks about education and how it should not be a privilege to a select few, but a basic civil right of every American child. I 100% agree with that. She goes on to say that all high-performing countries make strong investments in their public systems. C.M. Rubin also said, invest in improving the quality of teaching and learning everywhere so that all teachers are able to deal with a wide range of abilities and special education needs, which are very important as well. My conclusion is, I love the motto, each one, teach one. We all have a responsibility, so let's not let our children down. Let's be there for our kids, and let's make sure they have the best education possible, because they're falling behind globally. Thank you all for listening. Leave your comments and let me know what you think. And thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening.